First, let's talk Junica. It's good to have a catch up with Nick from Junica. Last time we spoke to Nick, he was over the Atlantic. Not physically, of course.
That's right.
Nick, how are you?
How's it going? Good, thanks.
Yeah, good. Over the Atlantic, band that we really enjoyed here on Kiwi, and personally one of my favourites as well. And I remember last time we caught up about that. I think I think you were doing some gigs. I think the album had been out for a wee while at that stage.
Yeah.
But certainly a very distinctive sound in New Zealand. The whole shoegazy kind of thing. You were in on the shop floor of that one, really, weren't you? You were in there quite early for this new wave of shoegazy stuff that's coming through.
We released the first record in 2006.
Yeah.
For the Atlantic, and that was through Car Park Records in America. And we did a tour with Beach House for like a 40-day tour. Yeah. Right around North America and Canada.
Good times?
Yeah, it was so good. It was so exhausting, but yeah, really good times.
And so then what happened after that? I mean,
and then we did a record called Dimensions in 2008 through Aloha in New Zealand. Yeah. And we kind of just did some live shows and kept it going, but kind of just burnt out slowly, you know, like it was like 4 or 5 years together, and then just kind of like decided we needed to change and start a new project called Junica.
Were you at that stage? Were you expecting some more things to happen, and were
it was kind of slow burning kind of thing. Like it was quite a slow paced project. Yeah, like it was. We did play a lot in New Zealand and stuff, but it didn't quite take off. But it seems like now the kind of that shoegazy thing is now a bit like, you know, more common and stuff. So
you're a little bit too far ahead of the curve.
So yeah, it was kind of annoying timing, but I still love that kind of stuff, and I'm still trying to maintain that feel. So
moving on to Junica. I mean, what is Junica? Is Junica just you?
It's essentially just a solo project with a live band, kind of the same as Over the Atlantic, except Over the Atlantic started as a 2-piece, and then kind of became more of a solo thing with a live band. And Junica's I finally kind of refined it to a thing where it's like, it's a solo thing that just gives me good control just to work out exactly what I want to do. And
is it a product of your tinkering around in a home studio setup?
I've got a home studio setup, and I just I'm constantly demoing and stuff, and I just kind of had all these songs together, and about a year ago now I kind of decided to start a new thing and started building foundations for it, and I've got like a whole album's worth of stuff I'm going to be starting to record in January next year.
Oh, great.
But we did the EP as well, which was released about a month ago.
So that was Living It in My House.
That song featured on it. It was like it had 3 remixes from Cody, James Figuring from Postal Service, and Kids of 88 a remix as well.
Gosh, I didn't know that, really.
So it was a cool little EP we did.
Yeah, that's interesting. So is Postal Service going to come back? Do you know?
No, I don't think. Well, I know Jimmy I spent 3 months in LA and got some friends that know him really well. So I kind of knew him through that, and he actually remixed some of my other.
Because he's busy with Death Cab and all that.
Yeah. Well, actually, Jimmy's the guy that does the beats and stuff. He's the singer guy. So, but he's doing Dentel stuff at the moment, and I don't think Postal Service have got anything, which is a bummer.
But back to you, and this track featuring. Pip Brown, aka Lady Hawk. Is she a friend from way back?
Yeah, she is. Well, in my first band, Ejector, which was back in the early 2000s, we tour and do shows in Wellington and stuff with Two Lane Back Top.
Oh, right.
So I met her years ago, and she was doing heaps of gigs then, and we just kind of hung out heaps and maintained a friendship. And she was just around in Wellington one day, and I was like, I don't want to, just write a song together. And we spent like an afternoon doing that Living in My House song.
I mean, just an afternoon. I mean, it's such a catchy number.
And I recorded her vocals in this really budget setup, and they just sounded really good. So I kept them for the main, the main recording, and so it was real cool. And
is that your backing vocals in there?
I've got so all my vocals I did it in the studio in UK, and we recorded it again. But it's all her layers from the demo.
And when you sing. Are you going for? Is this your natural style, or are you going for a certain sound that harks back to something?
No, I think it's natural. I've never ever thought. I mean, I've never considered myself a great singer anyway, but at all. But it's natural. I've never thought about putting on a voice as such.
And what makes up the Junica sound and instrument wise? I mean, what are you pulling together?
I always start off with usually like I start a beat, then do a guitar line, then bass, then synth over there, and then just overdub any percussive kind of things. But synth and heavy kind of like chorusy bass and guitar and stuff. And I just have certain sounds I really like using now for my guitars and stuff. And then drums, that kind of gated snare thing, and toms, and the 80s sound, Phil Collins kind of sound. I love that stuff. So yeah, I really like the whole epic side of the 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
But I also don't like the whole factor of doing the 80s thing when it's kind of... It's that techie side of the 80s as well, the really techie, cheesy synth pop stuff. And I'm more keen on like the Tears for Fears. Like,
right, that sort of...
That kind of more, that kind of the darker kind of melancholic poppy stuff.
Which is finding a whole new audience.
Yeah. And like OMD and stuff is a huge band I really like. So that kind of stuff like that you get into. So,
so now you've been picked up by a record label, is that right?
We're talking to lots of them at the moment and stuff, and we've got pretty strong connection going on right now. But and we signed a deal with EMI Publishing in Australia last year, which has been a huge help. They kind of sent me on a 3-month writing trip in LA, London, and Stockholm in Sweden.
Yeah.
And I was writing with guys from Peter Bjorn and John and Shout Out Louds, and I'm from Barcelona and stuff. And
there's some good hookups going on.
So yeah, there's been some really good things happening last year. So it's really starting to come together now. It's just getting the live show sorted, and that's gonna be happening in a month.
Have you been in contact with it? Because I can see your sound working quite well with, say, like Over the Tasman, the Cut Copy type.
Yeah. I'm into Cut Copy's the band I really like as well. Yeah. So yeah, once the band's up and running, we're gonna focus on Australia as well, and make sure that's something we really give some decent time, spend some time doing.
And what does a Junica live set look like at the moment?
At this stage, it's pretty much the same as recording it. It's synth, bass, guitar, and drums. And
where are you? Are you on the keys?
I'm guitar and singing, yeah.
And
which is the same as Over the Atlantic. I'll do the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we want more of like an electronic kind of sound and focus on the drums with a bit more electronics, because I use so many drum machines and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, a new single just been released as well. What's that called?
And It Hurts. That was released last, I think Monday. I think.
Yeah. And It Hurts. Hopefully, I'm going to find it in here. I was told it was in here.
Yeah, nice.
Might not be in here just yet. If Sam's listening outside and he's got it handy, that would be cool if he could whip it through, because it's not in the system.
It's up for streaming as well on Bandcamp and
okay.
And things like that.
What's the Bandcamp website?
It's just Junica. I think Junica at Bandcamp.
Bandcamp,
whatever that is. Yeah.
Bandcamp.com.
So yeah, we recorded that about 3 weeks ago at Roundhead Studios, which is great, and got Brent from Cut Off Your Hands to play drums.
Oh, great!
Because that was before I actually found a drummer for the live set.
There it is. Right there, I found it. So anyone can go there and they can listen to it. They can't buy it from there.
Not yet streaming there, but
okay.
iTunes has it, and we'll have it available on other sites soon, I'm sure.
Awesome, super cool. Really nice to have you in, Nick.
Yeah, thanks.
And a good catch up, and hopefully catch up around album release time. Any shows coming up?
One of the first main ones is with Naked and Famous at Town Hall on November the 4th up here in Auckland.
Oh, great!
And we've got some in Wellington before that as well. And then from there on, we'll
work so well with Naked and Famous.
Well, that's a band. I guess we'll be working. Well, hopefully,
Yeah.
Really like this stuff. So yeah, that's cool.
And they're doing great things around the world.
They're doing huge things.
Oh well, it sounds like a really exciting time. I'm so pleased that it's all working out at the moment. So it's brilliant. Well, I'm going to play the new one, And It Hurts, here from Junica.
Cool.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.